I'm Sandy Toksvig, and this is What the Dickens, a show for all those cultured people who can look at an amply proportioned nude by Rubens without saying, oh, don't fancy yours much. Joining Chris Addison is a comedian whose TV show genius invites members of the public to send in their best money-making ideas. And the most lucrative so far has been to set up a TV show where the public send him money-making ideas. Please welcome Dave Gorman. Sue Perkins is a comedian whose regular book club invites the audience to bring along second-hand books which he then reads from and criticises. Usually a bit grubby, but in reasonably good condition. He's been a stand-up for over 10 years. Please welcome Robin Ince. Our first round is 3 steps to heaven. We show our teams 3 images in turn, each offering a clue to a famous film, book, play or musical. 3 points are awarded if they guess the answer from the, frankly, desperately difficult first image, reducing to just 1 for the insultingly simple third picture.
She looked at me. Yeah. She looked at me when
you are insultingly simple.
I am insultingly simple.
Speakers are fine. Speakers are fine. Chris and Dave, get us started here. Here is your first picture clue. Former President of the United States, pictured with one of his policy advisors, I think.
No, because owls are notoriously wise.
Oh, there is that. There is that.
I like that he's got his name on his jacket and his job on the other side of his jacket so he doesn't forget.
Any ideas? What can I tell you? You need to focus on the bird in the picture. The bird is the important bit in the photograph.
Is it Harry Potter?
No. Let's take a look at the next picture. Now, what do we have here, Chris and Dave?
Is that having some surgery, sort of like hair removal, maybe?
It's somebody undergoing cosmetic surgery. I like the fact that she's decided to wear lipstick during the procedure. Yes. I think that's...
and eyewear. The eyewear's great.
The
monocle.
It's rather...
What is she... Do you know exactly what she's having done here?
It's plastic surgery. That's all your cosmetic surgery.
I'm guessing that's laser, because the eyes are covered.
I don't think it's... The specific operation, I think, is not... Well, let's have a look at the 2 photos together.
So
we've got the bird, the Boyd.
Bird or owl, yes.
And the surgery, I have to tell you, is used in this work that we're looking for. It's used for criminal purposes. So you know those films that people go, ah, and they take the face off. And
yeah, I always wanted to do that and just have exactly the same face underneath. I just like doing that.
It would scare everybody, I tell you. There's no question about it. Do we need a third photo? From the model of the motorbike there, I'd say that is one of Los Angeles' finest.
That is, yes.
Oh, is it Face Off?
Face Off? No, is that a film? Or is that something from sport?
Yeah, it's called Face Off.
Is that Travolta and...
Travolta. Cage.
No.
Woo.
No.
Face. Off.
What they did was they swapped faces, but what they cleverly did, they didn't actually put Nicolas Cage's face on John Travolta. They had Nicolas Cage playing John Travolta in the Nicolas Cage face, and vice versa.
Wow.
That's inside knowledge for you there on how Hollywood works.
Let's have a look at the 3 pictures together. We've got the bird, which is an
owl.
An owl. We've got cosmetic surgery, and we have got an LA policeman.
LA Confidential?
The answer is LA Confidential. Absolutely right. Well done.
Well done.
The answer is LA Confidential. The clues were as follows. An owl, which represents the Night Owl, the name of the coffee shop where the murders that sparked the investigation took place. Your second picture featured cosmetic surgery. A key aspect of the plot of LA Confidential is that prostitutes are altered by plastic surgeons to resemble film stars. And finally, we saw an LA police officer. LA Confidential is based around the Los Angeles Police Department and the corruption therein. You get 1 point. Well done. LA Confidential star Kim Basinger once said, unfortunately, it is true that the further up the ladder you go, the more flesh you have to show, which is absolute nonsense. Take my tip. Next time you decorate, wear dungarees. LA Confidential is based on the novel by US crime writer James Elroy, a pioneer of the so-called telegraphic prose style, whereby he frequently omits connecting words and uses only short, staccato sentences. Not read him, have no opinion, heard he's no good, no joke here, just move on. So, Sue and Robin, over to you, and here is your first picture clue.
Oh, I'm glad she's opened the window there, because otherwise that wouldn't have any light in it, that half a caravan.
Really rubbish caravan.
Did you not notice that just the side doesn't seem to be there?
Well, despite living there, Margaret Beckett claimed it as her second home.
Do you feel she can't put the expenses into the wall now because the story's broken?
You need a character who has a dalliance with the caravan, basically.
Dalliance with a caravan?
A dalliance with a caravan. Somebody who's fond of a caravan.
Who likes a caravan?
Well, there's Wind in the Willows. You've got Toad lives in a... he disguised himself as a gypsy for a while, doesn't he? Oh, sorry, that's not a politically correct Native American. No, that's wrong.
Inuit?
I can't remember who it is.
You're heading in the right direction. Can I show you your second picture,
Yes.
please? It is... what is it? It's a...
Washing Day.
It's a
But
washing
that is also
woman.
what Toad of Toad
it
Hall
Mrs.
dresses
Tiggy
as.
It is Toad of Toad Hall. Absolutely right.
I channeled it by mistake. I really thought I was way off. I'm so sorry, that round could have taken much longer.
No, darling, listen, I've things to do, it's fine. Can I just show you the third picture, which I think is a bit of a clue there?
Oh, I see.
Okay. Did a toad in the hole? Did you get that anywhere now? Does anybody say, oh, you have some toad in the hole?
No, I think what happened was that around 1985 they realised it was disgusting.
Yeah.
But if you use free-range toads, it's actually quite nice.
It's quite pleasant.
Corn toads are delicious.
Oh.
Corn toads or tofu frogs, it's hard to decide which one I prefer.
Do you know, nothing irritates me more than vegetarians who eat meat replacement things. Would you like some corn shaped like a lamb chop? No, I would like a bit of bleeding sheep.
But it's not about the geometry of the meat that's made them vegetarian,
No,
you see.
surely.
It's the slaughter element that came into it, I think.
So why must it be shaped in some pleasing meat-like manner?
Well, I've never had the lamb cutlet version. I'm very excited by that.
Are you a vegetarian?
Yes, he is.
Could
Maybe.
you get this man off the programme immediately? It's no wonder you
You've
look so
not
pale.
lived. You're
surrounded, Toksvig.
Oh, no!
There's two of us.
Have you ever had veal replacement? I'd like veal replacement. Corn that had just been kept in a small, dark shed.
fed milk. Buttery corn.
Before we get letters from vegans, and it'll be the last thing they do is they painstakingly try and write a letter.
I am sick of this idea that vegetarians
Yeah.
are somehow weaker than the...
Go on then, I dare you. See how long you can keep it up. See if you can stay there.
You made me laugh. You ruined it by making me laugh.
He just wanted to show off his hair product.
I wrote a book called Toad in the Hole. Full title was Toad in the Hole, A Treasury of Kickboxing Accidents.
And you see, if you ate meat, you'd be that funny. Now, Toad of Toad Hall features the song A Walloping We Will Go, which has recently been revived by the Metropolitan Police. Right, our next round is Love It or Loathe It, in which our guests choose something or someone from the world of the arts that either delights them or repulses them. They must claim that they both love it and loathe it in turn. The opposing team must then decide which of the opposite opinions represents the truth. So, Dave, you are up first. What is your chosen work?
My chosen work is the book, not the film, the book. The Damned United.
Which is what, darling? I don't know.
It's by David Peace. It is about the 44 days that Brian Clough was manager of Leeds United.
And are you going to love or loathe it to begin with?
I will begin by loathing it.
OK, your 1 minute starts now.
I first became aware of this book when lots of my friends, everyone, and lots of the media were recommending it so wholeheartedly. It was one of those you-must-read books, and somehow it escaped me. And then I was aware they'd made a film of the book, starring Michael Sheen, and I saw the posters for the film, and the film had these quotes, all the witty one-liners of Brian Clough, or I wouldn't say I was the best manager in the world, but I would say I'm in the top one, etc. And I thought, that's the book I should read that everyone was going on about. I should do the good thing and read it before I see the film. And so I picked it up and read it, expecting a jolly book about Brian Clough, full of all those witty one-liners, as the posters had led me to believe. Instead, it's a book that concerns just 44 days, which is a terrible conceit for a novel, and it is the most repetitive book in the world. Every third page, he's going under the stand and through the doors and down the corridor and past Sid Owen and past Maurice Lindley, but it's all the same thing. It's everything. It's exactly the same. So-and-so's injured and so-and-so's hurt, and they're bastards. They're all bastards. They're all out to get me, the bastards. They're out to get me, the bastards. Whole pages like that.
Okay,
What the hell is it about?
I can't take any more.
How do you think I feel? I read it.
This is a disaster for me because I know nothing about football, and I know that's right. The only time I know
Extra
about football
point
is...
to Robin there.
I do that one thing when I have to go to the barbers, I read the sports page briefly, so when I sit in the chair I can go, it's been a terrible season for West Bromwich Albion, hasn't it? And thus he begins, and then the haircut is over, and it's fine. He doesn't realise I'm not a man.
OK, Dave, it's time for you to love The Damned United.
I loved this book. I still haven't seen the film, but I loved the book. It is... The repetition, which is there, is hypnotic, and it is a dark portrait of a twisted man who's basically going mad. It is sort of Shakespearean in its theme. This man slowly unwinding himself as he goes down that corridor and past these people who he hates and they hate him. And the fact that he repeats all this starts to make you believe that he's genuinely unwinding himself. And to just sort of casually throw it away once wouldn't give you an ounce of the true passion that the man had as he spirals out of control. And when he looks back at his past and relives his glories and feels the whole world is against him, it's a miniature portrait of 44 days of absolute paranoia and the beginning of the unravelling of a man that most of us grew to love.
Well, quick question about his obvious love for The Damned United.
Now, you are from the Midlands, aren't you, originally?
I'm from the West Midlands.
West Midlands. So that is Nottingham... No, Nottingham's not West Midlands, is it?
No.
No. So that's the one thing that I was wondering.
Is it Nottingham?
You just wanted to know where Nottingham was?
No, I just want to know where he lives.
So it's kind of a random question in the middle of a quiz show. So where's Nottingham?
You can't really say someone asking random questions in the middle of a quiz show, because that's what quiz shows are.
Oh, yeah. Do you know where Burnley is?
Yes. Can I have a point? I'll tell you if you give me a point.
Guys, you have to make up your minds. Which was the more persuasive? Does Dave love or loathe the book The Damned United?
Well, I think when Dave was young, I reckon you would have really liked Brian Clough. That's the one thing that I'm certain of. I think you are a football fan, and I think you'd like Brian Clough. And I know that the book is quite, compared to the film, it's quite acerbic with Brian Clough, and I know that his family don't like it, and I know that Nottingham is not quite in the West Midlands. Now, when I put all those three facts together, they don't help at all.
No. I know that when you decided that you loathed it, you looked down a lot and then looked very intensely into my eyes.
Oh, body language,
and I know a lot about body language, but sadly not enough to inform me whether you're lying or whether you're telling the truth. Therefore, I conclude we're in a bit of a pickle. I shall consult with my venerable team member. Blah, 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 blah.
Should we get our coin?
Don't know, blah,
the
blah,
invisible
blah, blah.
coin.
Heads or tails? Oh, hang on, which was which? Oh, it's a griffin's face. We think he loves it.
You love it! Yes, well done. The book is totally devoted to English football in the 1970s, so as you can imagine, I just couldn't put it down quickly enough. OK, Robin, it's your turn to attempt to confuse Chris and Dave. Honestly, I've worked with them before. It's easily done. What have you decided to love and loathe?
I have chosen the Beatles.
The pop-beat combo.
The pop-beat combo.
And are you going to love or loathe them to begin with?
I'd like to love the Beatles.
You go ahead.
The reason that I love the Beatles is because I love the sound, ooh! It's one of my favourite things. As a man who has an inability to whistle, I found that another way of calling dogs is to sing anything from the early 1960s Beatles catalogue. The main reason I love the Beatles is because they were... The first album I ever bought was the Magical Mystery Tour album. It is not a real album, I know official Beatles, but it was not. But it had... inside it, a fantastic glossy booklet of scenes from the film, which involves... It's the reason I like Ivor Cutler as well. He's a fantastic Scottish poet. And so that's why I just love the Beatles. I even like Ringo Starr songs.
Wow, that's a die-hard
I know that's a weird
fan.
thing. I actually, as a kid, I loved Octopus's Garden.
OK, so. Robin, we please have the opposing point of view. Could you now please loathe the Beatles?
I loathe the Beatles because they use that awful sound, woo, in their songs. It's one of my least favourite sounds due to the number of dogs that would arrive at my door. I mainly loathe the Beatles because I used to live in a flat share in my early 20s with a Beatles obsessive who basically gained a Scouse accent. He wasn't from Liverpool. He was originally from Sussex. And he became more and more Liverpudlian, and this is the worst side of it. He was obsessed with conspiracy theories about the Beatles, which meant he would actually play the whole of Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band backwards in a desperate hope to find more messages, which he generally found messages about broken chairs and cockerels that had been ill. I think that was it. And so that's why I loathe them. I loathe them because I had to face 3 years of my life in a cold, hideous flat share, listening to a man go on and on about the Beatles, going, well, of course, I'm not bad if I'm Liverpool, like that, and it was quite annoying.
OK, we've heard both sides now. What do you think? Does he love or loathe the Beatles?
I think that Robin probably loathes the Beatles, although he's, revisionism is his thing now. So he's revising all of his opinions. So I would say that he probably loathes the Beatles.
I think he probably loves them, but I'm going to bow to my captain.
Oh, man.
That's beautifully done, Dave.
Yeah,
Just
thank
pass
you.
it over.
Thank you.
Yeah. Chris
I might
Addison
just
thinks that you loathe them.
Well, I can never work in Liverpool again.
It's reported that in April 1965, John Lennon and George Harrison first encountered the hallucinogenic drug LSD, which was slipped into their coffee by an acquaintance who was a dentist. I normally just have the gas myself, but there. We're going to take a break now, but before we go, here's a question for you at home. Who met Richard Nixon and asked him to ban the Beatles from entering the United States? We'll give you the answer in just a few minutes. Welcome back to What the Dickens, where before the break I asked you who met Richard Nixon and asked him to ban the Beatles from entering the United States. Oh.
No, we thought it might be Elvis Presley.
It is. The answer is Elvis Presley. He met Nixon in 1970 and derided the Beatles as un-American for their anti-Vietnam policy and drug-taking. Next up is Common People, where we ask our teams to determine what improbable link exists between three famous people from the arts world. So Chris and Dave, your linked characters are...
Chris Rock.
Sinatra.
Chris Rock,
Sinatra and Donald Duck.
Frank Sinatra and Donald Duck, and I want to know what it is that links these...
They all are very happy to walk around with no trousers on, but do cover up with a towel if they go to the bathroom.
Do you know that Donald Duck was banned in Finland because he had no pants on?
Is that right?
Donald Duck banned in Finland.
Yeah, but for people who run into a sauna with no clothes on, it's an odd thing to say that, but that duck needs to...
Easy, but they all have sons called Huey, Dewey and Louie. Or nephews.
They're nephews.
I can tell you that Hugh Jackman was the last person to do this.
I know what it is.
You know what it is? I'm going to hand it over.
I know what it
I'm gonna
is.
hand it
To
over.
do this.
I know
Yeah.
what it is.
Yes, Ms. Perkins.
Is it an award they've achieved?
Not...
It's not an Oscar, because Hugh Jackman... Is it an Oscar? It is an Oscar they've won. They won an Oscar,
No,
Sandy.
but
They've all
you're in the...
posed as the Oscar.
They have presented Oscars for best...
The
They
answer...
have presented the
They
Oscars.
have stood
They-
outside.
You got it there. Chris got it. The answer is our three common people have all hosted the Oscars. So you get 2 points. 2 points to Chris today. Chris Rock was the host of the Oscars in 2005. Frank Sinatra had a couple of goes, 1963 and 1975. And Donald Duck shared hosting duties on film in 1958. Where you get 2 points for that. Frank Sinatra was said to owe his career to his mafia connections, and I have to say he's not alone. I only got this gig because Giles Brandreth woke up one morning next to the head of a pickled herring. Right, Sue and Robin, let's take a look at your three linked figures from the arts. Any ideas? We've got an author, a painter, and a singer for you.
So it's J.G. Ballard, Ellis Larry, and David Bowie.
What do you think links these three?
All of them are haunted by dystopian visions of the future in which they imagine crashing a car into Elizabeth Taylor. Now, you may not know that's the correct answer, but I know these people's work a lot better than you.
Well, curiously, the word Elizabeth is appropriate because the Queen is involved.
Have they all licked Elizabeth at a garden party, mistaking her for a scone?
No.
Have they all rejected...
Knighthoods.
Yeah, rejected some form of honour.
They have all turned down honours. Absolutely right. Well done. What links these three is that they have all turned down honours. In fact, L.S. Lowry holds the record for declining most honours. Good man, with 5 declined between 1955 and 1976. So you get 2 points. Well done. Do you know why L.S. Lowry kept a suitcase by the door, by the front door?
Because his wife was pregnant for 20 years.
Having an elephant, I don't know what the way.
Yeah.
Well, apparently he used to pretend, whenever a fan turned up at the door, he used to pretend he was just about to go on holiday. And on one occasion, one very helpful fan said, "Oh, I'll take you to the station." So at the end of that round, Chris and Dave have got 5 points, but Sue and Robin are still in the lead with 6. Our final round is losing the plot. In this quickfire round, our captains communicate the plots of works of literature, film or song to their teammates without mentioning names or places and without, please, mentioning any words in the title. Sue and Robin are in the lead, so you can start. Robin, you've got to guess. Sue, you have 9 seconds starting from now.
Futuristic, utopian, dystopian novel.
Brave New World.
Indeed. Robson the Rich and Gives to the Poor. But it's a film.
The Adventures of Robin Hood.
No, it's a film, and it's got a man
Robin Hood,
who's
Prince of Thieves.
Exactly so. Shipwreck, famous shipwreck novel.
Swiss Family Robinson.
No.
Robinson Crusoe.
Exactly so. Cape in Tight Trousers. Powwow.
Cape in Tight
Kerrang,
Trousers.
Zowie.
Oh, Batman. Batman and Robin.
Indeed. So, you'd play roulette here. Famous film, transatlantic film, indeed. Using the same word, same place, exactly. But this is a film about a spy. He's a famous spy, the most famous spy of this country. It's the first film ever made.
James
and it's
Bond.
set, exactly, yes. But they play
Casino
roulette.
Royale.
And imagine if I was going to go gambling, where would I go? The most famous gambling capital of the universe.
Las Vegas.
And if I wanted to just, if I was an alcoholic, say, and I was dying,
Las Vegas.
taking lots of drugs there in a novel, same place, taking loads of drugs there, but I don't like myself for it. In fact, I feel awful. In fact, I want to lacerate myself, but I'm scared at the same time. Scared and also self-loathing. Scared. What? I've said the title. This is a musical.
Why didn't you just say Killer Bats and a Samoan?
Because it has nothing to do with Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Now. Oh,
anyway,
does it? Right. Well, I don't know well
this
enough.
is a disaster.
This is a musical here. There's a couple of very voluptuous women in it. Ah, my eyes!
Okay.
Oh.
The one she was heading for was Hairspray at the end there. You have 13 points. You need to get 9 in order to win, please, boys.
No.
And your 90 seconds starts now.
Play in which 2 hitmen wait to do
The Dumb Waiter.
That's one. This is a movie. This is a travel book, famous in the 50s, Beatnik.
Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance?
No, it's more where you put a motorcycle, you put it, and then you drive along. And but this is about being rather than along.
What?
Another word for street.
Road.
Yeah, and if
the road.
What's this? Was it
On the road?
Yes, that's right. Okay, good. This place is in the southern part of the globe, and it's very nice. And they have festivals there. Ladies with titties.
Brazil.
Doing that. Yes. So where would
Rio de
that's
Janeiro.
right. So it's the
Road to Rio.
That's it. If you decided to fly somewhere, there was a terrible disaster, but you decided it was going to be funny, and you were going to
Airplane.
Yeah.
Shut up, man. It's bad for your back.
This is a novel about by your favourite author.
John Irving.
Yes, that's him. It was made into a film. The Man Gets His Tongue Cut Out. That's the one. This is a film set in India, in which. Hang on, I'm not finished. This is a film set in India.
Chris and Dave are our runners-up with 10 points, which means our winners with 13 are Sue and Robin. I'm Sandy Toksvig, and this has been What the Dickens. Next week, we'll be discussing H.G. Wells' book The Time Machine to see whether we can make one of our own. So tune in at the same time last week.
Our Films on Film season continues at 10:25 with Haskell Wexler's Tell Them Who You Are. Next tonight, Metal Week continues with some British steel.